So, Bulgaria, Greece and Turkey have new focuses, because previously in vanilla they didn't have one, so they're all new. Yugoslavia has been reworked. And I think a little bit of Romania has as well. But the big rework is Croatia. The big rework is Yugoslavia. With these three having completely new ones. They're pretty impressive, like Turkey's. Zooming out, zooming out, zooming out. It's now apparently the second biggest after Spain. And then ours, which you've obviously seen appearing a few times. Looks like this. And then Greece's looks fairly similar. Oh, and I am also very happy to report, speaking of Greece, that they have lots of submarine technologies that they can get. In fact, the Greek Navy can be quite strong. Because of this. Ancient talents. Navy leader cost minus 50%, starting level of new Navy leaders plus 1, starting defense skill of new Navy leaders plus 2, starting maneuver skill of new Navy leaders plus 2. Plus just a whole bunch of submarine upgrades. Including cruiser subs. Go easy with the drink teas. Those focus trees seem to step up when it comes to most paradox-created trees, except maybe for a few exceptions. So here's the thing. I don't remember the veracity of this, but I'm pretty sure it's true. Is they've basically brought in a third party to do focus trees. So another company is being subcontracted to do the focus trees, so that Paradox themselves can focus on the mechanics. So this is basically using the same model as Stellaris, which, having talked to Paradox 2 years ago, was the model that they really like for DLC, and is probably the model we'll see for all of their titles going forwards. Basically what it is you have two types of expansion. You have the story packs, which is new factions, new focus trees, new mission trees, new nations, new races, whatever, on one side, and those tend to be smaller and much cheaper. And then you have the expansions, which is adding new mechanics and stuff like that. Sometimes those mechanics will actually be part of a free update because they don't like having mechanics part of a paywall, paygate, whatever it's called, because then it's difficult to update the game if mechanics are differing, whereas the story content stuff can be gated out. Is this the new DLC? Yes, Katie, it is. So this is what we would consider in the Stellaris system a content pack. There aren't any new mechanics, but there is new content for some of the new some of the nations. Not in new company to independent people. Okay, but it's still a third party. Does the aeroplane manpower exploit still work? No idea, I don't do exploits. Of course they had to follow up on the Greek subdomination. I still remember after I did that, Daniel and I talked for several hours over several beers about the state of submarines. And how to rebalance them, and then what do you know? And a new patch came out, and they were rebalanced. I think one of the earliest issues of mechanics being gated out was in CK2 with retinues. Actually, I think the earliest one was for EU4, which was estates and development. Those were initially pay-gated, although they did eventually make them free features. Hoping the first CK3 DLC is a Byzantium-focused one. I'm pretty sure it will be. What's it called? You mean this expansion? Battle for Bosporus. Battle of the Bosporus, rather. Or Republics. Republics would also be very nice. Okay, so now we can integrate the Agrarian Union. That is what we're going to do. And I think I'm also going to switch out Koyo Sivanov for the leader of the Agrarian Union. So we're going to be losing some of the stability that this guy has been giving us. The weekly stability. I've been waiting for that sneeze for so long, that felt amazing. But we have Dimitra Ivanova giving stability weekly, so we don't need it anymore. This does mean that we won't have the elusive gentleman, but we're not the spy master, so I don't think that matters. And we can always replace Bozilov if we need to. Done. Because this guy is really good. Political power goes up, max factories in the state goes up, which on a advisor is crazy. However, democracy support is going to go up even higher now that we have two of them doing it. Uh, 1939, we are definitely researching the upgraded guns. Do I think Egypt should eventually be turned into a puppet from game start and given a tree? I will say I don't know enough about Egyptian history to really say. In this period, at least. Because I know a lot of mods do that. I don't know. How goes the Prussia of the Balkans? Disappointingly, because we don't have the Prussia of the Balkans focus yet. Otherwise, everything's great. The fate of Czechoslovakia. German troops have crossed into Bohemia and Moravia, ostensibly to restore order in the regions in the wake of the collapsing Czechoslovakian government. In Prague, the occupying forces announced the creation of an autonomous protectorate within the German Reich. With German support, Slovakia has been declared independent under the leadership of Josef Tiso. The nation of Czechoslovakia is no more. Zog submits to Italy. An ultimatum has been delivered to the Albanian government by Italian diplomats demanding that they submit to the complete military occupation. King Zog has abdicated after realizing the futility of resistance, and Albania will now be ruled in a personal union under King Victor Emmanuel. Now we can draw up the plan for Regicide. It is time to make the final preparations and decide when and where our operation will take place. Oh, we only needed a brainwashed political prisoner or persuading a member of an integrated internal faction. We didn't need both. It will take 60 days. Okay. Because we're still integrating. Okay. Now I wonder if we can get the National Social Movement integrated in that case. Maybe not in the time that we have now. Although there's nothing saying that overthrowing Boris will get rid of the factions. In fact, it probably doesn't. Missed a bit of the game. Where do we go after plotting against the Tsar? Still doing it. Right, new focus. Still can't do any of those. So now we can increase the industry investments. Which is, I think, what we're going to do. We must develop a heavy industry capable of supporting our great industrial and military growth. Large national investments will be required, but this will bring us closer to our final economic independence. And we've built 2 of the civilian factories. We've still got 2 outstanding. And at that point, we're switching to militaries. And we have a new research slot, which is awesome. We have finally integrated the Agrarian National Union into the government, improving collaboration that was already developing between members of this former organisation and our party. In this way, we can now foster cooperation for larger projects with some of the brightest minds in our country working together. This will bring great benefit to the country. So political power goes up, stability goes up, non-aligned goes up, democracy goes down. Socialists lose power, lots and lots of power. And it is 1939, so I think we're going to go with the concentrated industry. Do I have any plans to do Italy and TNO? At this point, I'll probably do Turkey, Greece, Yugoslavia, because I want to see what all the DLC stuff adds. And then after that, who knows? When's the next Baldur's Gate 3 stream? Check out the schedule. Although, I wrote that schedule at the time not realising when I'd have access to this, and this will probably take some priority. Actually, no, that's not true. I already added them, didn't I? So yeah, Friday and Saturday. But yes, I do try and keep that schedule up to date as much as I can, so check the schedule. It's all going to be there. Or better yet, join our Discord, which somebody can ping into chat, because the Discord I do keep up to date. And I will say, this is what's happening, if something changes. It's the easiest way for me to talk to the community at large. It really is like the main mouthpiece for the channel, so if you want updates, join the Discord. Italy pursues closer bonds with Germany. Italy and Germany have expressed many conflicting interests, particularly in Austria and the Balkans. This has not, however, prevented the countries' foreign policies growing ever friendlier towards each other, and negotiations are underway for a pact that will protect common interests. Well, I don't like that. Diplomats from Germany and the Soviet Union concluded what observers are describing as a historic agreement today with the signing of the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. Named after the German Foreign Minister Joachim von Ribbentrop and his Soviet counterpart Vyacheslav Molotov, this non-aggression pact stipulates that neither side will ally itself nor aid the enemy of the other. Do I currently have claims on those places? No, I don't. We get them later on, though. Right, so I can now seek foreign support, which will take 15 days. Which I think would be a good idea, because it reduces the stab hit. Oh, fascism is growing rapidly. Because of fascist influence from Italy. Removed 1942. So part of the problem is we don't have anything impacting non-aligned. Interesting. That's not a bad idea. Change in popularity of fascism minus 18%. Gain base stability minus 12. And this removes fascist influence. Done. Because we can't join them. The capital of the Republic of China, Nanjing, has been occupied by forces from the Empire of Japan. Despite fierce resistance from the walled city's Chinese defenders, Japanese troops managed to capture Zhongshan Gate and fought their way into the city. A significant development. Alright, industrial investments have been increased. We can now execute the plan. It'll take 15 days. Do it. And while that's happening... Oh, we can't do nationalization because we haven't actually got anyone working in our country. In that case, feeling the looming threat of Italy, I feel like we really need to negotiate our rearmament. The Bulgarian army is in a sorry state due to the Treaty of Neuilly-sur-Seine's restrictions, and we are almost defenceless against invasion from any bordering country. We must negotiate the lift of these restrictions sooner rather than later, lest our greedy neighbours decide to start another Balkan war. And then after this, we can reorganize. Yeah, we'll probably reorganize and make our way down towards Prussia, the Balkans. Or get the steel plant. I mean, that's also not a bad idea. Be dead. A few hours ago, Tsar Boris III was leaving the University of Sofia after attending the annual National Congress of Byzantine Studies. When an individual swiftly approached the Tsar, drew a weapon and fired multiple times at Boris before being shot down by security forces. A few minutes later, both Tsar Boris III and his assassin lay dead. The National Security Service has opened an investigation to find those responsible for the regicide. According to official reports, the criminal was in possession of Bulgarian, German and English documentation, which only complicates the investigation and fuels speculation. Most Bulgarians blame Adolf Hitler, the NKVD, or the British, but there are some who dare claim that the government itself is involved in the murder of the Tsar. Disturbing indeed. So Bogdan Filov becomes the leader for non-aligned. Political power goes up, improved relations, maintenance goes down, interesting. Join faction, tension limit goes down, and acceptance of fascist diplomacy goes up. No designated regency. That's something I could have done. Oh, yeah, no. He has to be dead for that one. Well, I guess that gets replaced if we get this. Stability down, ideology drift down. That's bad. Political advisor cost up, and then political power gain down. Disturbing indeed. And we are 15 days through, but this is only a 35 day. So then we can do either the Regency Council or Tsar Ferdinand. So, start arguing with each other in chat. And come up with some arguments and some ideas and some future direction for the nation. Bulgaria needs you. And do you know what would have stopped the bullet? A hat. Poland refuses the German ultimatum. Considering the demands, it seemed inevitable. Poland would be forced to cede Danzig to Germany, and a Polish plenipotentiary would be sent to Berlin to negotiate further terms. Ignacy Mozycki pointed to the German Reich's recent actions when stating it was obvious that Germany would not be satisfied with Danzig alone. German and Polish forces are prepared for war, and reports are already coming in of clashes on the border. Once again, there is war in Europe. Right, well, it's time. What are we going to do? Flip communist? Join the fascists? Start building a navy? Navy. Okay, vote is live. Get your votes in. Vote, vote, vote. Which should we do? Bring in Tsar Ferdinand or Tsar Simeon II? Which do you think would be better for our nation? And speaking of what's best for the nation, you too can contribute to what's best for this channel by checking out the Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship that I have going. You can find details, I'm sure, in chat any minute now, over there. Oh, no, over there. Or you can check out the little banner, which is down there somewhere as well. And seriously, every single sign up that we get, and you have to complete the tutorial as well, which only takes about 5 minutes, massively helps the channel. We're trying to get 60 sign-ups minimum. I get a payout at 60, a payout at 90, and a payout at 120. And I would love to be able to get 120 people signed up for Raid Shadow Legends. And it's free. It's a free game. You can get it for free. Completely for free. Okay, so in probably the biggest upset of all time, Tsar Ferdinand lost. And Tsar Simeon II has been chosen. I don't know whether I should say this name, because I have a feeling that we'll have a lynching on our hands if I do. But I do always announce who has contributed the most in terms of channel points and bits. So chat, would you like to know who it was? Yes, tell us. Crabs, pitchfork and torches. Oh, it does actually say. Yeah, Agent Striker, 2,050 bits. So thank you very much for that. That's incredibly generous. And then also 7,000 channel points. So Agent Striker is now the new Tsar, basically. I mean, he paid for it. I'm going to do a save in case this does ruin the game. And then we're going for Simeon. Well, it's the more interesting choice, and I'm pretty sure that no other streamer is going to do this. Following the death of Tsar Boris and due to the heir being only 6 years old, a Regency Council must be appointed to exercise the country's government on behalf of young Simeon II. Regency Council it is. Ah, I can actually get the industrial concerns. So Vulcan cement, Pirin, synthetic resources or electronics. I mean, electronics are nice, but ever since La Resistance, they're just not as useful. But construction speed? Heck yeah, we're grabbing that. Oh, that was amazing. Bulgarian rearmament. After our defeat in the Great War and the imposition of the Navy Treaty, our army has been subjected to enormous limitations. The turbulent times are looming over Europe now, and if we preserve the territorial integrity of Bulgaria and the freedom of its people, we must find a way to leave those restrictions behind and start rebuilding our army. So we're going to demonstrate our policies of peace. Oh, you know what? I reckon that this is going to be made easier if we condemn Macedonian organisations. The UK, France, Yugoslavia, and one other likes this. Probably Greece. What else does that do? Oh no, we can still join the UK. Join the UK. We can still join the Allies, so this is going to be between fate of the Balkans and joining the Allies. And we definitely want the Regency Council done as soon as possible. Then after that, I don't know if this is going to make it cheaper or anything. Probably not. Let's just do it anyway. It's not like we're short on political power. Do it. Do it now. Agent Striker is the regent. Moments of CK3 coming through there. Who has the most to gain? Why, Regent Agent Striker, of course. And who did you not investigate for the murder of Ferdinand's hopes and dreams? Agent Striker. Simeon's an interesting character, to say the least. I mean, 20 years ago, he was the Bulgarian Prime Minister. Oh, that's interesting. Three hurrahs for Bulgaria. Okay, so we've got the new gun, which we're definitely going to want to upgrade to. We'll get the support equipment. We're going to start upgrading those guns. Germany declared war on Poland. And thus it begins. Huzzah! And we are going to start buying iron or steel from probably Hungary. So we can actually start churning these guns out. Poland's joined the Allies. We do actually have a surplus. It's just unfortunate that we can't train more soldiers. And now is probably the time that we need to start thinking about fortifying our borders. We don't have nearly enough troops to cover this whole length. I haven't even covered the Ottoman areas. Docking rights from Germany. For now, sure. After all, we are completely neutral. Ah, we also have Bogdan Filov, the political manipulator. At the moment. Thankfully, we've banned fascism already, so I don't think we're going to have problems with that. However, democracy is probably going to continue growing under him, because we have no drift defense against non-aligned. Or for non-aligned, rather. Hungary is not exporting as much as they should be. Alright, let's start buying from France. They have enough to send. And I don't have enough convoys to actually, you know, use convoys for this. Am I able to change economy? Yes, but there's no real reason to do so. Actually, yes, there is. But then again, at this point, I kind of may as well wait for war economy. Be a 10% boost. Right, and we did not depose the Tsar. Because we went with Brannick, which also means we can't war industry anymore. Because we didn't strengthen the royal dictatorship.